Hello and welcome to my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Today we're looking at a new card which is coming out of the character structure deck, and it's called Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon. It's a level 10 wind attribute dragon type synchro effect monster with 3000 attack and 2500 defense. It requires as materials one tuner synchro monster and one non-tuner clearwing monster. The effect is once per turn when your opponent activates a monster effect. As a quick effect, you can make this card gain attack equal to that opponent's monster's original attack until the end of this turn. And if you do, this card is unaffected by your opponent's activated monster effects this turn. 2. Once per turn when a spell or trap card or effect is activated. As a quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. And 3. If this card is synchro summoned you control is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, you can add one wind monster from your deck to your hand. So this is supposed to be a retrain of Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and actually lives up to the hype, which is what was expected of this deck. Firstly, the condition of summoning it can be a little bit difficult, requiring a tuner synchro monster. I know there's ways of getting them, but requiring that and a clearwing monster already is a little bit more tricky. As for the first effect, being able to shut down your opponent's activated effect, even if it's just as a quick effect, it can be used either during your turn or your opponent's, which means it can actually react both ways. It also gains that level of attack, which means unless your opponent seems to be running massively overhyped monsters, you're not going to be able to really get rid of this by battle. And it also shuts down your opponent from activating any more of their monster effects. So unless it happens to have like a continual effect once it's been summoned, they can't be used. The secondary ability is also quite useful, as it also a quick effect. It means it can shut down a spell or trap card once per turn, so this is both yours and your opponent's, which means even if you want to target it this way, you can't really do that. And because it's not specific based on if it targets a monster, it's actually quite generic. It's just if any of those cards happen to be activated, it gives you all the flexibility you need. The final effect is actually if this happens to be gotten rid of by your opponent, you're able to then search out for a new card. It does have to be a wind attribute monster, but considering the style of deck that's being played, you're going to be running wind attribute monsters anyway. It's mostly that type of deck. The roid monsters very much rely on this, the speed roids, so there isn't anything you shouldn't be able to at least go into from this. Whilst I think this card is very versatile, it does have the disadvantage of its summoning requirements to begin with. Do I think it's going to be overpowered or that people are going to be really using this card? I think yes, to an extent, but I think its summoning being a little bit more difficult than Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon means that it might be outphased by that card. If you feel different, please make sure to put those comments down below, like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Yu-Gi-Oh content.